people that's in Michigan and everywhere else try to be a part of this celebration. Lamont wanted me to start, but I had already started before. But I will continue to start. Tiffany, many of you don't, she came, she was like a little surprise. I was a little fast in high school, basketball, athlete or whatever. But during my, when she came at 326 on October 2nd, I had a craving with her. I had chili hot dogs, chili cheese hot dogs from the ice cream place on Getty Street, and hot apple pie. And I think even one time I wasn't supposed to have been driving because I was only 15. And Alice and Jerome, we had the station wagon. It was like the family station wagon for the school. Loretta. So I goes to lunch one time, and I was like, ooh, I gotta have me something to eat. I'm sitting up there pregnant and messed around. Ain't never had no accident, but I had just got my permit. And I opened the door and somebody hit the door. I was like, dang, I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm trying to get something to eat. But Tiffany just, these are just the little things that, the little things that I'll never ever forget. Like she used to, people that didn't know, when she was like 3, she used to have a little tongue tied thing. So we used to be this club in Muskegon called Kokomo. And so me and my best friend, we was always going out every other weekend, going out, and Tiffany and Linda would be like, "Ooh, y'all going out to Totemo's?" Tiffany called it Totemo's because she couldn't talk. And so then we was like, "Yeah, we're going out." She was like, "Oh, y'all going out again." And then when the club closed, she said, "Totemo's is toe-to-toes." And she was like, "Y'all going out again?" I said, "Yeah, but we can't because, our club is closed." And she would be like, she just was the funniest little ball of joy that just, and if you can see some of these pictures, she just unforgettable. I mean, I don't know. I just, she always was optimistic. She was really optimistic about stuff. And them tattoos, good Lord. When I seen my baby with the tattoo of the state of Michigan, I said, what ain't you got on there? You had the Detroit Lions, the Red Wings, the Tigers, University of Michigan. She had Sparty on there, the MSU one. But, I was like, girl, can you have another one? But she loves her tattoos. She definitely, I don't know if Casey, did you get the picture with her with Medea? Yeah. So when Medea, Tyler Perry and this Medea thing first came out, we was in Detroit. Yeah, we was in Detroit. And she put on this wig, and my mama was in town, and she came around the corner with this thing. I said, what's wrong with you? She was like, we knew who she was. And then when she started liking guns, I was like, oh, you really believe it now. And what was her gun? Bertha. She would call me, telling me about Bertha. I said, when did you start liking guns? She was like, Ma, I go to the gun range. She just like I was telling Aaliyah, I looked up, she told me, oh, I do lashes. I was doing lashes. I said, lashes? I said, what are you doing? All of this stuff, she just jumped in. She was, she used to do those little keychains with the little plastic thing that wine. I was like, girl, I ain't got the patience for that. I can't sit there and do stuff. She can sit there and do tedious stuff. And I was like, I ain't got no patience for that. I got the mind of a squirrel. I can barely walk straight, you know. But she was definitely proud of her work. And she'd be like, Ma, come out here, go to the gun range with me. And I was like, the gun range? And then she did just the little things. And but the best thing for me is, and I don't regret, is that she met somebody that loved her unconditionally. She got married. She fell in love with the love of her life. And I said, well, you know what, Tiffany, I'm so happy. That's my favorite picture. My favorite. And along with that one too. But she met somebody. I said, well, shoot, I'm 53 and ain't got nobody, you know, I ain't met nobody. But, you know, I was happy, even though I'm sad, I'm heartbroken. But she met somebody that loved her unconditionally. I mean, loved her before they got married. He was doing the husband stuff. And I couldn't want a better son-in-law, son-in-love, son-in-law, whatever y'all want to call it. I just call him son. And I'm so appreciative that he made my daughter happy. She was happy to be, she'd be like, my husband, and the wife. And I was like, you know what, I could just tell the glow when she talked. She loved being a wife. And I was I was pushing for that baby, Lord. I couldn't get it, but I was pushing. Because I don't know if any of y'all know, my contract with my kids is the first 6 months that they have a child that I will take care of. So I was really pushing for that, but it's all right. God got something else in plan. He got something else in store. But I couldn't want, like I said, the best thing that by her graduating, I'm glad she was educated. She got degrees, and like she got so many different skills. And people just wouldn't, you know, you'll be surprised at some of the stuff that Tiffany can do. They're going to I think she has, I don't know where she got that wig from. And then, oh no, let me talk about salt and pepper. That's Little Jackie, salt and pepper. So that's pepper over there. Linda, just stand up. Just stand up. This is pepper. She is my first. I always say this was my first child because my sister came from Tennessee with this little baby at 4 months old. And they always come home when they always come home to mama. So I told mama, I said, what we gonna do with this baby? I told my mom, what we gonna do with this baby? Next thing you know, I'm taking pictures with this baby. I said, oh, this is my baby. Then I messed around and got pregnant, but she's still my baby. But they would call them salt and pepper all the time. We had them dressed alike. They was more than cousins. They was like sisters. And so, Tiffany was just too adorable. And it just, I don't know. I could go on and on in the stories. And I just told her, she was a secret keeper. I'd be like, oh, I'm thinking I'm telling her something. She'd be like, Mom, I already knew. I'm like, you already knew. Or she'd be like, I knew about this or I knew about that. And the relationship she had with her other siblings, even though she got 2 from me, but her other ones on her dad's side, I was like, oh, I didn't know, she was really close with them. She believed in keeping, being close to family. She just wants y'all to be, she wants us to be close. And I just missed that, but we got Lamont here that want to say something, but like I said, this is the greatest thing that for Tiffany was Lamont. So proud and so happy to have a son that, love my daughter unconditionally. And I mean it. When I say from the rooter to the tutor, baby. Baby, from the rooter to the tutor. So y'all give him a great round of applause.
Today we said our goodbyes to Miss Tiffany. the love of my life, my best friend. And the one thing that she always did is, when she met you, you fell in love with her. It's the way she worked. And because she did that, I got all type of friends, all type of family. Everybody she crossed paths with now connected to me somehow. But I ain't gonna let that slide. I'm gonna keep those relationships going. And I wanna thank everybody that came out today to celebrate her. And we'll open up the floor for comments about her.
I'm Felicia. I work for MCSO, Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and I used to work with Tiffany. When I first started there, Tiffany was my trainer. And then she got promoted to a lead, then I got promoted to a lead, and we became partners. And then I got promoted to a supervisor, and then she left and she went to MCAO, which she went to the attorney's office, and she started working in medical records. But me and Tiffany have always kept in contact with each other. We've always talked. She called me little big sis, I called her little sis. And she was just at my house on the 23rd. We had a pre-Thanksgiving dinner at my house. Her and Lamont was just at my house. But I used to always tease her about Lamont because she was like, my best friend so-and-so. I said, best friend with benefits? I said, that's going to be your husband. No, it ain't. She always denied. And then next thing I know, me and Lamont moving together. Yeah, okay. But I knew it was coming, and because he made her smile. He put a smile on her face, and every time she talked about him, she lit up. But I had some funny stories at work. One day, when Tiffany come to work, it was working third shift. And if anyone knows Tiffany don't wear a bra, she wears sports bras. And if we'll say, Tiffany, if we want to ask a picture or we want to see something, she don't go in, now she'll come with a backpack, purse, whatever the case is. We'll look at her, she'll go in here. She'll pull out her phone on this side. We with Tiffany, but we want so-and-so. Then she go back on this side. And then if we order lunch, Tiffany, we order lunch and so she go right in the middle. We like, why you got a purse? She said, because I can feel it up here. I'm like, you know what? I said, I can't do you right now. She said, it's easy for me to get to. I ain't got time to be going through all that purse and all that stuff. But her attitude and her demeanor, and like Lamont said, when you met her, you fell in love with her. Because when she became my trainer, me and her became tight just like this. So for me to get that phone call that she was gone, I couldn't believe it.
See, me and Rue played football together, so that's why I was surprised for me. Cause you remember, it was the trio, which you don't have pictures of. Cause it wasn't just Tiffany and Linda. Michael as well. But he left us way too early. We had to when Tiffany came into this world, we really had to hunker down to become more of a family. So we had to spend our time as well as helping our sister take care of Tiffany. She knew she could call on us at any time. Like when she was in Detroit, she would call me and call Alice, but I was closer. But when she moved down here, she called Alice most of the time because she was closer to Alice. The times we had with that child. Now, you didn't mention something that when you were saying about her, what she enjoyed. This child loved horror movies so much. Her favorite horror movie monster was Chucky. And she came in, she's like, oh, Uncle, yeah, I've been watching, little child watching Chucky. Then Tracy was like, I'm going to have to lock my doors. I don't know if I can trust this child. But those are the little things I remember of my niece. And it was about a month ago, I get a call, Uncle Jerome, you coming down here? Because I'm coming back here to go down with my son to see his wife. I was like, yeah, I'm coming down there. She's like, I need a box of turkey knuckles. Now, if you don't know what turkey knuckles is, I'm sorry. They are quite delicious. So I'm still bringing that box. Still bringing that box. Because you just can't get them here. I don't know. It's real sparse. So, you know, she knew she could call me up and ask me for anything. All of my nieces and nephews, cousins, they all know they can call me up and ask me for anything. I'm somewhat of the rock of the family.
The day she was conceived, and I was with her up until the time she was gone. And I'll tell you what, the one thing you have to know about Tiffany, she loved you unconditionally, and you all gave it back to her. And I can't thank you all enough, because that is the number one thing. She came into this world, and she was just a big bright light. God turned on the light, and we called it Tiffany. For me, that's exactly what it was. And she had me at her most important events. Her conception. Her birth? No. No, but I was there in that same house. We remember that. But that day, the day she married the love of her life, and the day she departed, that day, and I saw her, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing in this world that will keep her out of my heart and with me every day that I walk. Because even though someone is not here, you can hear their words in your ear. You know, if it's, you know, what's the lesson in that? Or what do you think you're doing? You know, or
Bring the turkey
bring the turkey nuggets. Or in my case, half the time she was like, and I knew it. You guys have heard that same sound from her. Every time she was like, really? And it's like, okay, I get you. I understand.
I can honestly say that I'm at peace with the whole going of my oldest child, my oldest daughter. I'm sure a lot of people don't know how to deal with something, you know. Brand new to me. But again, I'm at peace. My baby brought home the best thing that she ever had in life. Was a husband. I could have been selfish and said, no, I need you to bring me a child. She brought me a man that took care of her, that loved her unconditionally. I'm so proud of her. Still wanted that baby. So proud I got you. So proud I got you. My son, you know that, right? You got brothers over there. You know that, right? That's all you need to know. We're gonna ride for you. We're gonna ride with you. That's who we are. On top of that, Alex. We had a beautiful child. We had a magical child. That baby was able to do a whole lot. She kept us together. She kept all of us together right here. Think about this. This is what she wanted. She's standing back grinning at us now. Like, I got you fools together. Just because she loved all of us. whether we feud or not. We together. I might not have been the best father. Might not have been the best black man. But I was Tiffany. Don't say everything. My baby loved me. I love her. That'll never change. That's just being real about it. It wasn't a selfish bone in that baby body. To have her laugh. Am I lying, Tracy? And thank you for 37 years of a child that blessed us with what we got. Thank you. That's it.
After all day, just talking about how funny Tiff was and how she all touched our lives. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chiron Dawn. I am Melissa's daughter. She's part of our Sims family. We worked together. Well, I didn't. My mom worked with her. I just happened to be there 24/7. Because as a kid, you kind of grew up there. I was 13 when I first met Tiffany. I was just a young high school student. Still didn't really know who I was. Just kind of going through high school. Always hanging out at mom's work, waiting for her to get off. And I was really unsure of myself and trying to kind of figure out the world. But Nene, she saw something in me. And from the moment I met her, she believed in me. When she showed up, she never missed a milestone, Every graduation, every accomplishment, she was just there, always. And now, for those of you who do know me, I have 1 more year till I graduate and become a doctor. She was there for every graduation, always showing up, And I know without a doubt, when I would graduate and I'd walk across that stage to become a doctor, she would be there. And she didn't cheer me on. She was always talking about it. She was waiting for it. She wanted to plan for it early. She was always talking about what we're going to do after, going on a cruise, something extravagant. You know how Nene was. She always wanted to go out with a bang, And she'd always say, my child is going to be a doctor. And to this day, I can still hear her voice, just saying it over and over again. And, I think that's the hardest part, hearing her voice and feeling her love, but knowing she's not here anymore. And, my mom always tells me that the reason why, loss feels so hard is because we have nowhere else for that love to go. We can't pick up the phone and tell her, hey, what are you doing? I love you every day. We know she's here. We know her love is still here. But we can't pick up that phone and hear her voice just one more time. It has nowhere to go. We can't hear her laugh. We can't feel her arms around us. And I think that's what makes this loss so heavy. But if there's one thing I know about Nene is that she wouldn't want us to stay in this pain. She wouldn't want us to stop living and stop shining. And she'd always tell me, shine bright, my China doll, shine bright. And she said it so many times that when I needed it, and every single time she meant it. And she always knew how to keep encouraging me. Even being a doctor is hard enough as it is. And she'd always know the right thing to say, just to keep me going, just to keep me pushing just a little bit more. She lifted me in ways that I honestly can't even really put into words. And Nene believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And she loved me when I didn't know how to love myself. She gave me strength, even when I didn't feel strong. And now that she's not here, I know her love isn't gone. It's still with me, and in every lesson that she taught me, and every memory that it holds, and every bit of light that she brought into my life. So for that, Nene, thank you. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for loving me, and making me feel like I could always do anything. In the Sims family, I was there 24/7. The whole Sims family pretty much watched me grow up, and Nene had touched all of our hearts, and every single way that you could imagine. And you'll always be in my heart, Nene, and I'll always keep shining just like you told me to do. So today, as we honor her, let's carry her light forward. And let's shine bright for her the way she always shined for us. And unfortunately, Lamont, you're stuck with us. You're family now. So look around. You got a big family now. We ain't going nowhere. Thank you.
We got so close in my adulthood. You know, I was the baby of the household at least, and I got on her nerves, but she braided my hair still. She did everything for me. She popped my knuckles with the comb if I was reaching for my hair. She watched First 48, so I'm a little 6, 7-year-old. We're watching it together, and I'm gonna be an attorney soon, so she was pivotal in that, and I told her that at my graduation, and I'm so blessed to have had my sister there with me, and to have spent the summer last summer working in Arizona, kitty corner from my sister at the attorney's office, and that's who showed me that I could do it, told me that I could do it my whole life, and no matter the attitude that I had or whatever, I just wish I could still talk to her again, but I'm so grateful for the time that I had with her. I'm so grateful for the relationship that we had, and I don't really understand why this happened to my sister, but I'm working on it. And I'm learning that it's not up to me to know why this happened. So I could really talk about Tiff all day. Like I drove an hour and a half home from school, and I would always call my sister on the way home from school if I had a long day, if I'm crying, if I'm overwhelmed with just life in general. And she just had a way of calming me down just in those times. And I'm just, again, so grateful that I got to tell her these things recently within this past year, and just tell her how important she was to me. And just see her and my brother Lamont and the love that she found with him, it was so inspiring. And just to be able to live with them for a little bit last summer and see it in person, like they really got a true love for one another that I know ain't going nowhere. Not with you or her, with our family, like it's still going there. Man, my sister. She loved everybody. Like I would be on the phone with her, she would say she gotta call her sister or her brothers, one of her brothers or one of her sisters, like it. She would talk about her little nieces and nephews, so she just will always talk about her co-workers, just everybody. Like she loved everybody, and I'm just happy to have had a sister like her.
I really see Tracy and Alice as like my sisters that I never had, and I love their kids like they're my own. I consider them my nieces, my nephews, or my sister, Jerome. And like, God put me in a place a couple weeks ago where I'm rarely at, so I travel a ton for work. And when I am home, I'm the party person, I'm the party planner. I like to have people over, I like to entertain, and I would always make sure Tiffany was included when I moved back here a couple years ago. Then Lamont blessed her, and blessed me, and blessed all of us. And I always made sure that Tiffany was with me and included in everything we did. And Tiffany was like, her and I just had something, we could look at each other, we knew what each other were thinking. We were together on Thanksgiving, which was such a blessing, and I was telling Tracy, it was just like, we were all had so much fun. She was so happy. And it was devastating. So that day, I never go to downtown Phoenix. I'm not a downtown Phoenix person. And for whatever reason, Whitney and Leah, we all decided, hey, let's go downtown and have dinner, which we never do either. And we're sitting there, and when I got the call, it was literally Tiffany was taken. I work in medicine. Tiffany was taken to one of my accounts. And again, I'm just blessed that I was at that place. God put me there for a reason, that I could be there for Lamont. It was the hardest thing ever, because I saw Tiffany, like I said, as a niece. And a couple funny stories, when we all lived together, when we all decided to like transplant down here, it was literally Alice, Keeley, Tracy, Kurt, Casey, me, my daughter, who else? Was that it? All living under one roof at one point until we all figured out our housing situation. And Tiffany was like the caregiver for all you little ones. And it probably Tiffany whipped my youngest into shape. That's all I have to say. Tiffany whipped her, and she saw Tiffany put Keeley in airplane in the corner. She said, oh no, I'm not doing that. But Tiffany loved everybody. She had such a good heart. And I was so blessed to know her, so blessed to be part of this family, and so blessed when Lamont called and asked if I could help participate in doing her celebration of life. As I participated, helped decorate for their wedding and did Tiff's bridal shower, and he's like, she really enjoyed everything you did when it came to that, and I wouldn't want anyone else to be part of it today. So I will take Tiff with me everywhere I go. I'm always up in the air flying, and I needed another angel, and I did not want it to be her, but I'm very blessed and so lucky that it is. So she is with me as I cry the friendly skies, and she'll be on my shoulder as his granny, my Gemini twin, and all my other people who have gone too fast out of my life. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Lamont. You know, you're with us now, so whatever you need, we'll be here. Okay? Thank you.
Have been married to the family, so I am the aunt. I am Jerome's wife. I have a lot of memories of Tiffany, but every time I think about her, it was when she was younger. When I first came to know her, was her infectious smile and laugh. That is something that will be with me always. She was my niece. She had a big heart. She loved her family. She was at my wedding 30 years ago as my flower girl. Her and my other niece, Linda, salt and pepper. I just remember her being so excited and getting their hair done and making sure their dresses were right. But things happen. We may not know why they happen, but they happen for a reason. A lot of people don't want to hear that. But I know that God is in control. He is, when you think about different things or when you have trials and struggles in your life, think about Tiffany. Think about her infectious laugh. Think about all the memories that she gave you. Think about all the blessings that she gave you.
Be in the mail. As soon as I get back to California, and a couple other folk that rebuked me already. Detroit fathers though, this young lady came into my life about 2007. Yeah, something like that. Came down here to see a USC and ASU game. And she came and picked up me, my son, Marvin. He was 2 at that time. Yeah, he old now. But make a long story short, she came and picked us up, and that was the first time I met her. And like Mom said, she was
Detroit. I mean, whatever it was Detroit, everything. And I'm like, man, I never met somebody that loved Detroit like that. The tattoos and all that, she was serious about it. You know, and I'm like, wow, okay. You know, I'm like, I know y'all football team. She's like, don't want to hear that. All right. I said, it get greater later than it is. But she often shared things with me, you know, and a lot of it was about cooking. And I made a mention about some knuckles, but I was saying something else. I was talking about Detroit bat knuckles. And she said, no, I ain't never heard of that. But we got some turkey knuckles. And yeah, she said, you need to taste them. But she was always kind, always loving. And I jumped on my brother one day. And I said, man, listen here. You love this gal? He said, yeah. I said, why you ain't married to her? He said, oh. I said, I don't want to hear nothing about common law. I said, this thing need to be signed in heaven. You love her? Yeah. Tiff, you love him? Yeah. Y'all ought to get married. Y'all ought to do something about this. Now, I ain't gonna say I was the one that made it happen, actually happen. I know there's a whole lot of people like, y'all need to go and do this, but I was one of them. I put my bid in. I'm like, y'all need to do this. But it was a beautiful wedding. That same smile you see right here, this is how I want to remember her. Because she would walk into a room and light it up. I don't care where she was. She came all the way to California to see my son, the one that was 2, in his football game. All the way to California just to see him play. And I was like, wow, that meant the world to me. But I just want to say that she'll never be forgotten. Memories to last a lifetime, but the thing that she did. Somebody spoke about her cooking. Oh yeah. I was a recipient of it, yes. And I'll never forget that. And I got to sit down, I thank you.
Me and Abdullah, we met each other, some of you may know him as Lamont or Mont. To me, he's Abdullah. Me and him met at the masjid in Tempe. I converted to Islam when I was very young, and in this time, you know, we have an idea where when 2 people meet each other and they have a bond of brotherhood, that they become brothers. And to me, he's a brother. And when he met Tiffany, I saw a light explode in him that I had never seen before. He'd always been such a wonderful human being and a wonderful man. But it wasn't until he met Tiffany that I saw that light explode like a shooting star. And when I met Tiffany for the first time, I was like, oh, they're gonna get married. I knew it. I knew it in my heart. I told my mother, like, this is the one for him, because she made him happy, and she made him smile, and she was there for him, and they were there for each other, and she was there for me too. When I would talk to him, and I would say I'm depressed or I'm having a bad time, the second I hang up the phone, she would call. What's wrong? Let's talk about it. Even if I said I didn't want to talk about it. I could deal with a CIA interrogator, but not her. You can't tell Miss Tiffany. But when I got the news, it was a shock, you know, because we were supposed to hang out that weekend, go to a gun show. And I texted, you know, say, hey, when are you going to come get me? Because I don't have a car, sadly. And he said, I'm not having a good day. I thought, you know, maybe a bad day at work. And then my mom called him. So he was crying. And I said, I've never seen this man cry. He's like a stone. So I knew something must have been wrong. And then he texted me that Tiffany had passed. And I was shocked. I'm still in shock. You know, and the thing is, she is always going to be alive in our hearts, and I'm always going to remember her for the impact she had in my life, and obviously the people in this room. She's impacted all of your lives in the most positive of ways, and she's, like someone said, she's an angel now, and she's always going to be an angel to me. She was like, I never knew I needed a big sister until I met her. Because when I needed advice, she was there. When I needed someone to cheer me up when I was down, she was there. You know, my brother can give me as many kick in the pants as I need, but when she would call me, she'd cheer me up. I could be in my most depressed state, but she would always make me smile. And that's what I want to remember, is that she could always make me smile.
12 years ago working for the sheriff's office, and we hit it off. And for those of you that don't know, or most of you do, she's a Libra. Hello, I'm a Libra. The other Libras over there. So you get 3 Libras together, and let me tell you what a party that is. My daughter, who is very emotional, I said to Tiffany, I don't do well with emotions, so I said, Tiffany, get your knees. She said, come here, Chanadol, we gotta talk. Uh-oh. She gave a piece of her differently to everybody. Everybody who met her, came across her, had a different version of her or a different piece that we can all put together, and it made Tiffany. Which makes it hard. We would get phone calls. I talked to her every day. We would tease each other, be like, girl, let me tell you. Be like, yo, I know. When we work together, we could look at each other and already know, be like, look, we're talking after work, right? She'd be like, yep. There's so many fun stories with Tiff that it's hard to narrow it down to one. When she had Lamont over a couple of times, she's like, girl, let me tell you. This mofo, don't pick up that wet towel one more time off the damn floor. She's like, you're gonna have to come get him and take him somewhere. And I said, you know how to fix that, right? She said, no. I said, get that towel like you did back in the day. Swat him a few times. I said, eventually you'll start learning to pick that up. She goes, you might start learning to like it. I said, look, I'm out. I said, that's y'all's problem. That's y'all's business. Eventually she said, hey sis, I'm getting married. And I said, you is? He didn't come ask me yet? And she's like, I know he's here. And I said, well, that's because he knows we know how to hide bodies. And she said, you got that right. But eventually he came. He was very quiet, very conservative. He was on his best behavior. I still said, look, me and you, we're gonna have to talk. Tiff goes, bye, I'm out. And he's like, you ain't gonna help me? She goes, Libra, you figure it out. I'm gonna miss her.
We do have cameramen in the room. They want to get pictures of all of us together, so they'll be walking around taking pictures of us so we can gather the table as we can. I thank you all for coming out and celebrating my wife. She truly loved everyone in this room. She loved me. And I love you all for celebrating her with me. Yes, Mom? Yes, there's cupcakes up front. Her favorite colors. Oh, you know she would make sweets, so we got sweets up front. So come on up, enjoy yourself, and we're gonna take a picture. I think that was something else.